Alright everybody, welcome back to another Chucky video. So, the devs released the patch notes and the PTBs up and such for the Chucky changes that were teased. Now, it should be noted that we kind of went a little overboard in assuming how big a lot of these changes for all the killers are going to be. And Chucky's were decently small. I didn't think they were going to be massive. Then they're not exactly what I wanted. But we're going to go over a few of them and my thoughts on them. Before we get into this, another preface was I tried to test these on the PTB, and as you can tell from the background footage, yeah, people DC'd immediately the moment I got into a match. I tried to get some friends on, and I couldn't, and it was very hard to do that. So for the most part, I got some random testing on rat poison and some random testing on the cooldown stuff. But I wasn't able to get a proper test in, so that's probably not going to happen until it comes to live. Now, if anyone from Behavior is listening to this, I'm going to give some honest thoughts on things that I think need to be changed with these, because there's a few things I do want to adjust a bit. But let's get into the changes first, and then we'll get into that. So the base kit for Chucky, the Scamper time was decreased to 1 second, was 1.3. Now, this isn't much of a difference, it's only a third of a second. However, it does make Scamper feel so much more smooth, it allows it to be used much more for mobility, and to punish people who pre-drop a pallet immediately if you're charging at the perfect time. It's not going to make Scamper hits more common necessarily, but it's going to make them easier to land, which encouraged Chucky to actually go for them more often, rather than either kicking the pallet, leaving the pallet, or scampering and not even getting a hit whatsoever. Again, the counterplay for Scamper is still there, but this helps him at the loops he was already good at, and makes him even better at them. It doesn't make him any better at a lot of the loops he was already bad at. I do want to make that clear. There's also still the 180 bug on the PTB at the moment from what people have shown me. I hope this gets adjusted, obviously, but I don't want to take the bug into account as far as these changes go. Just want that to be known. Next is Hidey-Ho mode. The cooldown was increased to 12 seconds, was 10. So they've added 2 seconds to the cooldown, which is something I asked for personally, was 12 seconds. I have heard very many adamantly say 14 would be better. And to be fair, I would like to test 14, but I don't want to make it too high, because if we make it too high, then Power Drill and all the cooldown add-ons basically become mandatory and overused, and I don't want that to happen. So I think 12 is actually a happy middle ground. Again, as always, let's let it settle, see what happens with it, and see where it goes. But from my testing, 12 seconds seemed like more than enough time. 2 seconds is just enough time for a survivor to make it from one loop to another for the most part. If they're in the middle of a dead zone, it gives them 2 more seconds to get to a pallet before Chucky can hit them. This doesn't stop double taps, but that's a whole other discussion. But yeah, I think the cooldown to 12 seconds for now is perfectly okay. This does also inherently does buff Power Drill. Instead of giving you 1 second, it's 1.2 seconds, which isn't much of a change, but you know, it cuts off a second basically still, so it's kind of nice. And last, and this is probably the biggest change, is rat poison. So they decreased the range from 6 meters, it was 12, and they decreased the duration to 2.5 seconds, was 5. I don't think this is enough. I and many Chucky players have been very adamant on this, that rat poison shouldn't give auras at all. All this change does is make it so rat poison isn't as universally good. And what I mean by that is you can't just pop rat poison in the middle of nowhere and to get like a mini nowhere to hide effect. You can't just use it for general information when going across the map. What this does mean is that rat poison is now still good at what it was already good at, which is getting rid of Chucky's main counterplay at loops, hiding behind certain walls. 6 meters is quite a small distance. Most loops are actually bigger than 6 meters, so if people are in the correct spots, it might do something. However, if a Chucky player is good and knows where the people are and can aim to where they're in their general location, this gives him pinpoint reading. It also means that someone can't trick you when you scamper through a window or a pallet and such. They can't like double back or go back around. There's not much they can do here. They still get the aura reading. The 2.5 seconds is probably the best thing about it. The range really doesn't do much. But I don't think this is going to make rat poison any less picked. Again, it's still good at the thing it was already good at. They just made it worse at the other stuff it was good at, if that makes any sense. Overall, the changes are nice. Again, I would have liked to see more, but if this is all we're getting for now, I think the Scamper change is great. I think the cooldown reduction or I'm sorry, the cooldown increase to 12 seconds is fine. I would like to see it looked at farther in the future to see if maybe it can go up to 14 and we're still okay. I think 14 is the max. 14 is as high as I would want it to go. And then Rat Poison, again, I don't think it should reveal auras. Either make it a screen like I've suggested, make it a killer instinct like I've seen others suggest, or make it so the aura is only on hit. I'm not sure what else you can do with it. Rat Poison is too good at what it does, and I will die on this hill, understandably so. In any case, let me know what you guys think of the Chucky changes. There will definitely be videos coming out later about what this affects on Chucky as far as builds and such. If I'm perfectly honest with you guys, it really doesn't affect too much, except Rat Poison isn't always the best option. It's still really good, don't get me wrong. It is still really good and probably his best add-on, quote-unquote, in the fact that it's never a bad idea to bring it. But this might lead to Chucky players bringing some other add-ons. Placebos are the placebos and the perception of a nerf is way more impactful than actually nerfing something. I will say that much. But we'll see how this does. I don't think his kill rate's going to go down. I don't think his kill rate's going to go up. I don't think people are going to stop playing him as much, etc., etc. I think Chucky's going to be perfectly okay. The guide is still on the way, but I had to rewrite a couple things because of these changes, but not much. Anyways, I love you guys. Have a good one, and yeah, bye.
Subscribe, damn it. I'll be back. I always come back, and so should you, you moron.